Shalom, shalom. Give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yoshua, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles for the edification, knowledge, and Thawadi Yahweh Shem Yoshua for putting the spirit of the elders and apostles so we can regard this truth and knowledge, learn this truth and knowledge. Call Yahweh Shem Yoshua, Bashem Rakakadash. Give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yoshua, Bashem Rakakadash. I'm going to go to Matthew 7 and 13 and 14. It's 3 scriptures. Enter ye in the straight gate. The straight gate is pretty much a position of difficulty. For wide is the gate and broad is the way. And that wide gate and the broad leadeth the way to destruction. And many there be which go in thereat, because many are going to go through there. For scripture, Zechariah 13 and 8, for two-third part will be cut off and 1/3 will be left in therein. So the 2/3 are going to go through that the wide and broad gate, because it's an easier gate. The straight gates are it's narrow, and we can get ready to go into it when we go into 2nd Ezra and 7. Because only few can go in this. Enter ye in the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and the broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many therein which go in thereat. That's the majority of the people. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, which leadeth into life. Very few be that find it, man. So only a small handful is going to be able to go through that. I'm going to go to 2nd Ezra and 7, because many are called, few are chosen, man. So many are going to call to go through the straight gate, but only very few are going to make it, man. Go to 2nd Ezra and 7. Second Ezra 7. Here we go. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall. And that's the straight and the narrow path, man. It's in a dangerous place, position of difficulty, because on the left and right side are both perilous, man. There's very little room for error to make any errors, because it can be costly if you do. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and left deep water. So if you fall on either side, you're done, man. So there's no room for error. Number 8. The one only path between both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at one time. So one person has to go one time. One in front of you, a person in front of you, you behind that person, somebody behind you, one at a time, man. Because it's a very narrow path. It's not a whole lot of room. Definitely a whole lot of room for error. And you have two different types of perils. You have 2 different types of perils you have to deal with on the left and the right side, man. So you have to be pretty much very alert, vigilant, and be paying attention, because a mistake could cost you your life, literally, man. We'll read number 8 again. And the one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at a time. So one person at a time. Scripture says, as I said, many are called, few are chosen. So very going to be chosen, relating to ultimately going through that path and making through that path. More are going to perish than be saved. A wave is greater than a drop ratio, and they shall know it by death, by pain. And that's what happens through the wide gate, because that's the easier gate. But the end of it, the end result, which is the outcome, is ultimate destruction, man. But the straight path and the narrow path, or the position of difficulty, the road of difficulty, if you make it, leads to everlasting life. So that's more difficult, the obstacles, and is the perils is dangerous, and is set in a dangerous place because of the position of difficulty. Go to let's continue on. Matthew 10:28. Fear not them which can kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both the soul and body in hell, man. Scripture talk about it as a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living God, man. So we supposed to fear Yahweh Shem Yashab, man. For the one who can kill the flesh, for example, the one in power, man. That persecution, the siege, they only can go but so far, man. And really, their power is limited. They only have as much power as the Lord allows them to have. But the point is, the power we're supposed to really fear is Yahweh Shem Yashab, man. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. And that world is of Israel, man. So what he gave his only begotten son as that ultimate sacrifice on the altar, man. So the nation of Israel can come back through the Father, through the Son, through the Father, then back to the Father, because the Son is the mediator, man. He's the mediator, so that Israel can come back through the Son to back to him, man. That whatsoever believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life. So that hope and faith and believing. Psalms 92, 97 and 2. The clouds and the darkness are round about him. Righteousness and judgment are the habitation of his throne. So righteousness, the Lord, it's the epitome of righteousness and judgment, man. The fire go before him and burn up his enemies round about. Scripture talk about the Lord is a consuming fire, man. That's in Hebrews. Let me get that real quick. Hebrews 12:29. For our God is a consuming fire. So he is a fire, man. His lightning enlightens the world, and the earth saw and trembled. That's the power and the majesty of the Lord. And he melted the hills melted like wax at the presence of the Lord, and at the presence of the Lord of the whole earth. So his presence alone, he could stare at it, and the hills and the mountains would pretty much decimate if necessary, man. The heavens declare his righteousness. So the heavens declare his righteousness, his majesty, his infinite knowledge and wisdom, man. And all the people see his glory, man. So the manifestation relating to his majesty and glory is going to be made known, man. Confounded by all they that serve graven images. And that relates to the ones who serve these other gods, man. Scriptures talk about, I believe in 95, talk about the gods of this world are idols, but the Lord created the heavens. Let me see if I can get that. Should lock you for the music in the background. Here we go. 96 and 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols, and that's for nothing. They're idols. They have no power, man. But the Lord made the heavens, and that's the only one that made the heavens. That's Yahweh, the Father, Yahweh Yoshai, man. Let's go back to 97. Number 7, he confounded be all they that serve graven images. So ones who serve these other gods, they're going to be confounded, man, ultimately, man. That boast themselves of idols. So they boast of the power of these idols. Worship him, all these gods, man. For that scripture says, 96 Psalms and 5 talk about these gods are nothing but idols, man. All the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord, one who created the heavens, man. So there's only one God, ultimately, man. Let's go to next one. Psalms 58 and 10, righteousness shall rejoice when they see the vengeance. Righteous is going to rejoice ultimately when they see the vengeance. What? The judgment of the wicked. They see the reward of the wicked. The reward of the wicked is what? Their judgment, man. That's that recompense, man. And he shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked, man. See another scripture. Scripture talks about wait. The Lord saying, wait until I take to the prey. So ultimately, the Lord is going to execute judgment. For vengeance is mine. Romans 12 and Romans 12 and Dearly beloved, avenge not yourself, but rather give place into wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. So vengeance is the Lord, man. Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye. Wait means be patient, endure, tolerate, even suffer patiently. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey, which these other nations. So we have to wait on Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua. For my determination is to gather the nations. So that's to redeem, man. Redeem his people, man. Redeem means to bring back again. That I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, these nations, man, related to his judgment. Even all the fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of his jealousy, man. The scripture talk about the Lord long suffering waits, so he's going to be like a woman when he unleashes his anger, man, because he sustained all that fury and that rage patiently, man. So when he lets it out, all the full fury of the fire of his power is going to come and manifest and be made known upon the inhabitants of the earth, man. I'll read that again. Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey, for my determination. So the Lord's ultimate determined goal is to gather, to redeem, and execute a recompenseful judgment, man. So redeem and and execute judgment, man. Therefore wait upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour out them my indignation, which is a righteous anger, even all my fierce anger. So all the fury of the Lord is going to go out, man, that day, man. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of his jealousy, man. Scripture talks about, he's like Isaiah 20, I'll get it real quick, give you examples. Isaiah 29 and 6. So the determination of the Lord is to redeem his people and execute judgment accordingly, man. Isaiah 29 and 6. Give you an example. Use this one. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts, which is armies. For examples of thunder, we had that. Earthquakes, great noise, storms, tempests, and the flame of devouring fire. And that's ultimately that flame of devouring fire related to his rage of jealousy, anger, and fury, man. And these are the things that the things that's going to be used as a catalysm to execute, rendering his judgment, man. You know, these elements, man, are to his that he's going to use to pretty much execute, man. And you're seeing some of those things happen relating to that verse. For example, fire in France, Spain, Portugal, which is in Spain. Earthquakes all over, thunder, you know, different things that's happening, man. Great noise, tempests, you know, pestilence, plagues, different forms of judgment, man. But ultimately, the Lord will, when he sends his son, that's when the things get, really manifesting on that level, man. The chariots and different things, man. So these are a few scriptures. I hope it helps whoever listens. This brother is Ayab, which means wolf. Hope it helps in some way. Give all praise, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shem, Rakakada, Shalom.